Hey guys, we're back. Whoa, what a weekend. I think there's some outstanding games and finishes this week. But you know what? We got to go to maybe the current team of Texas.
The only
Houston
team in Texas.
Texans. Yeah. Daryl, I'm going to turn this over to you. They got a good record now. What do you think the future holds for this year's future holds for the Houston Texans?
Yeah, it's interesting. 0-3 start. Who knew
I know.
they were gonna run off 7 games in a row and now be 10-5, because I certainly didn't. And I'm gonna tell you something. I know y'all think I'm gonna get on here and be like, "Oh, yeah, Texans, baby." Nah, I'm still
Yep.
not happy with this offense, man. Bro, if you watched any of the highlights or you saw that game yesterday, you would understand why I have a major concern about this goofy offense. You know,
I like the
and
goofy.
man, my goodness, man. So anyway, yeah, 10-5. Hopefully we can win out. I think we could afford to lose one if we can get somebody to beat Jacksonville. But
It'll
but
help.
other than that, I think we smooth sailing. Man, I like the chances of getting into the playoffs. I'm just worried about the playoffs, So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that's my take on it. But shout out to the fellas. They could have easily lost yesterday, but they found a way to win. It's just unfortunate that they found a way to found a way to win against a Las Vegas Raiders team.
Yeah, that's
Come
true. That
on,
was surprising.
come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all I got to say. I'm
Well,
done.
I have a theory of why they're doing so well. Their coach has been watching tailgating, and they've heard your prediction, Daryl. If you could just play 60% better on offense, you'd have
Uh,
something. All of a sudden, they
yeah,
started playing 60% better. Look at that. Look at that. Now,
yeah,
if only Jerry would watch us.
yeah, Daryl, you might want to go check your mailbox, man. There might be like a contract in there for like a 7 game contract in there to finish out the rest of the season as the offensive coordinator. I don't know, man. You might have. Hopefully, you didn't miss out on an opportunity to join the NFL ranks. But no, man, Texans look good. I mean, CJ Stroud, he's doing what he's got to do, and Schultz. I mean, it's just yeah. I'm the only thing I can remember is that whole that was the first season Dak took over for the Cowboys, and I think they had like that 12-5 record or 13-3. I think they were only playing 16 games back then, and it's like just that fresh energy. And I don't know, like I guess they didn't have that added pressure on them because they didn't go into this season expecting a lot. In the first
Okay.
3 games, obviously proved that they weren't going to get a lot, but somehow, man, they're Jared. You said it best. They are finding a way to win, and I think ultimately that's what a lot of teams need to figure out. So I'm not gonna cut them. I'm not gonna cut them short or count them out. Do I think they're gonna win a Super Bowl? No, but do they have the potential to go a little deeper into the playoffs in the first round? Who knows?
Well, you know what? I'm going to switch this now to the disappointment from my heart. I guess it's not disappointing when you're getting used to it.
I need some
But the
glasses
Dallas
on.
Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, not only are they out of it, they lost again. I mean, they didn't even score in the second half. So I'm just going to ask you the future. I mean, do you blame this on, like a lot of people do, Jerry Jones? Along with Steven. Is it the coach's problem? Is it the offensive line, defensive line? Dak Prescott, what could it be? But I have a theory I want to run by you first, and you guys can give me your take.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I got this theory from last week, Marcus. You mentioned something about they're playing so many Thursday games. I thought, and you guys know this as well as anybody. There's a rhythm we go through. There's a rhythm athletes go through for their body to be prepared
Hmm.
for the game. And football is ferocious. You need a day to rest, recuperate, get yourself mentally ready, then physically ready. And I was looking it up. They've had 4 Monday night games and Thursday night games, 3 Sunday night games, and it's crazy. And they got another one coming up with the Christmas. That's got to play on you mentally. Now, Jerry, I
Yeah.
think he's a genius as far as money. He's a genius as far as promotion, and I think he's letting his promotion get ahead of the quality of his players. I think that he is saying, let's get on Thursday night, it's good for my brand. Let's get on Sunday night, good for my brand. Let's get on Monday night. Pick that those guys need to get their body in a rhythm. I'm thinking that might have something to do with it. Let me see what you think.
Bruce, you are 100% right. It's one thing. I think they won that Thursday game against who was that? Against the Chiefs. And I think that right there was kind of one of those anomalies where they just kind of came in underdog and they just, and obviously the Chiefs had already been licking wounds all year long. But yeah, Jerry is taking advantage. All these streaming services are trying to pick up games on different nights of the week. And to your point, Jerry's trying. Listen, at the end of the day, love them, hate them, the Cowboys are still the most valuable franchise in the NFL. And so if you're trying to draw crowds and viewership to a certain day of the week, there's no better team. So yeah, do I think there's just some random algorithm generator saying this is the schedule? Yeah, but I think people are going in and moving dates and times and and games around based on which day they need the Cowboys or other premium teams. Even the Chiefs, I think, are falling victim to this to an extent. Yeah. They're putting these players, giving them these short weeks, in some cases opposite these extended weeks off, where they get a little rusty, and it's just throwing that natural rhythm off. The body is an incredible thing. You train your body to do something, and it knows every 7 days it's going to go through that intense pressure. It's going to be ready. But when you start throwing it off and you get these short 3.5, 4 day weeks, I think you might be on to something there, my brother. I think Jerry's chasing the money, but that wouldn't be surprising to me.
What do you think, Daryl?
Look, man, I don't think we want to talk about my NFL is rigged speech. We don't want to go there because I just think that I just think that there's a lot there's a lot to what you're saying and exactly what Marcus is saying as well, man. I mean, as he said, the Cowboys is the most profitable, the most well marketed, the probably the most loved and hated franchise in the entire league, and so look, it doesn't matter when you put them on. They're gonna sell seats, and they're gonna get views on the television. So me as an owner, if I'm getting that type of attention for my brand and my franchise, who the hell cares if I lose? Come on now. Come on. If you're going to make Mark, let's talk to Marcus. Marcus is a businessman. Well, you'll make $3 million this year if you don't DJ the entire year. What you going to do?
I'm going to be good. I'm going to be good.
What kind of
wait a minute, you said if I'm making $3 million in my day job and I just don't get to do my side thing, DJing on the side, or I don't get a gig this year? Is that what you said?
This whole year.
I mean, it's going to be a little, for me personally, but it's going to feel like a little bit of an L, but ultimately I'm going to be okay because I got the money. The money's there.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. So I get exactly where you're going. I mean, we could talk about this all day. At the end of the day, it's disappointing. Jerry just needs to do what Jerry knows needs to be done. He's not listening to. He's like that old senile man that won't give up his car keys. I can still drive. Meanwhile, he's running over every orange cone and running over stop signs and in the ditch. He just don't want to give up the keys. Somebody got to force them keys away from Jerry Jones, man. I'm just gonna call it like it is. He did what he needed to do, but it's like, man, the last time the Cowboys they haven't won a consecutive playoff game since people had VCRs in their house. That says a lot. That says a lot. Like that was the number one, device for viewing, movies and mediums and within the house. It's like, come on, man, you got to make a change. And it's only one thing that has been consistent, and that is Jerry Jones at the helm. That is the only thing that's been consistent.
And Steven as Mini-Me. It's a
Yeah.
big mini me, but anyway.
Well, there's a few other things we got to talk about, man, because that damn game at the end for the Lions, whoo,
Oh
man.
boy, boy, that was him. Go ahead. That was an incredible
I mean, it
game.
was just a dramatic finish. Detroit had that, late touchdown. It was negated by the penalty, but I mean, the
Yeah.
Steelers just came back and did what they win. I mean, Aaron Rodgers to what's his name, Kenneth Gainwell. They just had a connection going on there. But I thought the Lions were gonna make a comeback, man. They drove that ball all the way down the field. I mean, obviously had a couple of penalties, and I mean, come on, dude, he almost ran a pick like in the NBA. Did you see what's his name? He
He
pushed
did.
him
He
off.
knocked him back.
Yeah, pushed him back and say, "I got the ball." I mean, man, and they made such a valiant effort. I hated to.
But then
I
that
feel like I
nice
was
little lateral. That lateral
that.
was beautiful, wasn't it?
Yes, and he pushed it through into the end zone, but the refs got to huddling and yeah,
That was a
sorry.
long huddle.
Well, they had to figure it all out, man. That was a lot of string to untie, man. But at the end of the day, man, that was one of those kind of finishes to a game, and I was kind of hoping the Lions would win because I love that adrenaline, how they just forced it all the way
Right.
down the field. Like I love to see teams get rewarded for putting in like that 2 minute drill and just making it happen the way they did. They willed themselves into the red zone. It's just unfortunately a couple of I think they had like a false start, and then of course they had the offensive foul, a couple of penalties pushed them further back, and what should have been an easy win turned into a disappointing loss. But man, hey, Steelers did what they needed to do.
And guess what I did?
What was that?
When on that final drive, when they scored the touchdown that was called back,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I turned the TV off. I left. I had somewhere to go.
Oh,
That's the worst.
I didn't know that they lost the game. I didn't know that penalty was called back and they lost until later that night.
Wow. That's a shocker.
That hurts when you turn the TV off, and I've done that a couple of times with the Cowboys, man. I'm just like, I'm done with them and cut it off. It's like one of those late night Sunday night games, and it's just like it's 11. I'm gonna go to bed. These boys don't want it, and I wake up like they freaking won. Like I mean, I like. Oh, it is not just the Cowboys. That's happened to me at least once or twice a season. I'll cut a game off because I'm just tired. I'm just like, they ain't gonna win, and then boom, you turn around the next morning and you're watching ESPN and. Dang, I wish I would have stayed up and watched the end of that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, my worst one for that, a little different sport, but boy, when they were playing racing in Daytona 500, and it was over, I turned off the TV, and Windsummer came back, and Daniel, my son, he says, Dale Earnhardt was killed in that wreck. You see wrecks all the time. I didn't. That was a shocker when I came back and saw that wreck was killed him. Boy, okay, thanks for bringing a downer to our show, Bruce. You're welcome. Anyway, what about the Patriots? Let me go back to the theory with Marcus. I think, last week I mentioned about the Patriots. They lost, but they lost because they got to a lead. Maybe they got a little too cocky. Good lesson for them. Then the Patriots fell behind. Looked like they're going to lose 2 in a row. Then all of a sudden they made a dramatic comeback. That quarterback, man, he's looking like he's really, the second coming of Tom Brady or something. The way you can hit those key passes.
I think Tom Brady
they might be ready.
DNA all over that locker room, and people are just, I don't know what's going on, man.
Maybe. But they're looking good too, aren't they?
Yeah. That's a heck of a comeback. I mean, Stephon Diggs with 9 catches for 138 yards.
First time for everything.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, the Ravens led most of that game, and I was, obviously Lamar Jackson went out with the injury, but the Patriots, man, they got themselves a playoff spot, right? So they have the word that comes to mind is resiliency. So hey, I'll give it up to him right there. Like I said, man, I think Brady left his DNA or something all over that locker room.
I know it.
It
took a couple of years for them to be back in good shape.
Yeah.
Any other games you can think of? What else happened?
Not a game, but I got to call this out as a moment, right? I mean, a little bit of drama yesterday with DK Metcalf. He's suspended for 2 games.
I didn't know how long.
Yeah, 2 games.
That was drama. Yeah.
It looks like the fan had like a wig or something on, so you couldn't see if his fist was completely, closed. because he had like a green wig or something on it. I don't remember, or maybe that was his hair and it was dyed or whatever. But he either punched him or he shoved him, in the face. And so, obviously the NFL or the league has a pretty hardcore rule around whatever happens. Players, they just cannot enter the stands or engage with fans like that. So, he made some comment. When you listen to the fan, he said that he just called him by his government name, his first, middle name. And then when you hear DK tell the story, he said that the guy made some kind of a racial slur or said something about his mom or something. So you never know. But at the end of the day, listen, you guys are paid. These players are paid millions of dollars. And as much as I understand in the heat of the moment, when passions are high and somebody just says something that just triggers you, we're all human. And listen, you could take the calmest person in the world and you turn them the right way and you trigger that person the right way, they're going to react, right? So if I think he was just telling him, hey, DK, you suck, I'm pretty sure he would have blown it off. But I'm certain that fan had to say something that was so insulting that he felt like he had to go and stand up for himself. Not making any excuses. At the end of the day, Metcalf should have not engaged with that fan.
And I wish that the punishment was a little more stiff, if you will. Man, one thing that disgusts me is
2 games ain't enough for you.
No, bro. Look here, we living in a world where sportsmanship is at an all-time low, and not only that, man, but we're looking at high school players in the middle of the field fighting during their handshake. It's sickening, bro. Come on. And you get a brother like Metcalf out there, a professional football player, in the stands fighting people. Man, what kind of message are you sending? And so now I'm not saying the NFL, it ain't their responsibility to try to prove to the high school players that you're not supposed to be fighting. But what I'm saying is I am sick and tired of unsportsmanlike conduct, period. And I thought it was getting better. I felt like the league was cracking down or something, because somewhere at the midpoint of the season, I started seeing where people weren't pushing and shoving anymore. They weren't, having these long discussions and all that kind of stuff, when they tangled up and, acting like they're going to do something. That kind of calmed down quite a bit until yesterday. Bro, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting.
Yep.
What do you think?
That kind of reminds me of the whole, what was it called? The malice at the palace. Obviously.
Oh gosh, yes, that was.
Maybe it's crazy how fans, man, they get so riled up, and I don't think they do it because they're trying to get a payday. I just think that they just kind of get caught up too. So anyway, that's about all I got.
Well, I saw one. Well, just go to the Mavericks real quick because we're talking about this. Now, I don't know if you saw the play. Cooper Flag got knocked down the court, and he jumped up really quick like he's going to do something. But his teammates, they came to his defense, and they held him back. And I thought, this guy, he's 18. He's doing all these great things, but he's looked like to me in that one play, he's already got his teammates' respect too. They were coming to him for him. So, all power to him. That team might be starting to roll a little bit. Not saying they're getting a championship this year, and Anthony Daniels looking good. But anyway, I was just impressed, how they all came to help the young guy when he needed it. So, all right, you guys out there, like and share. Let us know what you think about all these games. It was a weekend of really some dramatic games, and we're getting very close to the end where we're going to have to predict the playoffs. But anyway, we'll see y'all later. Give us some comments.